We weren't able to do it this last week. We had a bit of trouble doing this live. We're now live in LinkedIn and YouTube. I want to give you today a motivational Tuesday. I want to give you the best advice of what to do at this point, what to do at this moment, by using the 7 habits of highly effective people from Stephen Covey. And one of the things I want to tell you is I want to do a brief summary of the 7 habits with you now, and with the best applies with the best examples of how to apply them to your life today, through this pandemic, through this election year, and through this 2020 that's been so tough to very different areas of the economy and very different businesses all over the world. So the first thing to do with the 7 habits is, number 1, try to think of them as a methodology for success. So habit number 1 is be proactive. By being proactive, you stop being reactive. Be proactive. Try to do things that that nobody wants to do. Do things that no one will be able to accomplish, because you are the one who's going to do it. You have the mindset. You will have the mindset to do everything that you need to do to attain your goals. So work on your character ethic instead of working in your personality ethic. Back in the day, the most important thing was your public image, your social interactions, or your appearances. And now it's being like that again with social media. So the invitation from Stephen Covey is, don't try to focus on that, but instead try to focus on your character ethic. Work on your humility, work on your values and your courage, on your modesty, that way, on your integrity. That way, when you work on those and someone asks you something, someone talks to you back and really harshly, then you could being proactive will set you free. So this is a foundational habit. And one of the things that Stephen Covey used to say back in the day was that this is the most important one. If you don't have this habit, you can't go forward to the rest. So being proactive is being able to achieve things that nobody wants to do and nobody cares to do, and nobody has the attitude to do it. You got to have that attitude, and you got to have that because you're going to break that dependent model and becoming independent. These 3 first habits makes you independent. So habit number 1 is be proactive. Okay, it's your character forms a foundation. That's where we work on this one, and these 3 first habits, you want to work on yourself. In order to be independent, you got to work on yourself. You got to have, and you'll have the greatest impact. This we explain these 3 habits as the iceberg, and the way below sea, the way all the area from the iceberg that is below sea, it's these 3 foundational habits. That's why it's so important. Habit number 1, being proactive, it's totally the utmost importance. Why? Because we're going to focus on your circle of influence. Focus on things that you can control. Don't focus on things that you can't control. So you can't control politics. You can't control if Trump or Biden wins. You can't control if the pandemic hits. You can't control if you're going to use a mask or not. You can't control it, and the officials won't matter. They won't matter what you think. You just follow your advice. If they ask you to put a mask on, you put a mask on. If you own and you take responsibility for things. And I don't care what you think. If you think that it's worthless, I don't care. If you are at your home, you can do whatever you want. But once you're outside, try to be proactive in complying, and then you get things. You focus on those things you can control. What else you can control during this pandemic? Number 1, you can control your attitude, your education, your skills, your learning skills, your things you got to learn, your enthusiasm, and your habits and your hobbies. That you can control. You focus on those. So be proactive is number 1. Number 2, also a foundational habit, but and really really important, because as we're saying, we're laying the foundations of this iceberg. We're laying them down completely. So you begin with an end in mind. Begin with what's your goal, what is your purpose, and what will you feel if you attain it. So you need a map to go in life. People tend not to do this. Do it yourself. Do it for you, not for your company. Do it for you. What do you want in life? What do you want to accomplish? What is your legacy? What are the things that you want people repeat when you are in your deathbed? That's what we need to focus right now. What do you want to accomplish? What are those goals that you've never dreamed, that you dreamed of all the time and never accomplished it? What is it that you really want? You want to change something in the world? You want to have an important legacy? What's your passion to contribute? What can you do for your country? What you switch your mindset, instead of asking what the country can give me, what it's in it, what it's in it for it. And that mission statement can lead you to becoming to doing things amazing. And if you dream big and you put it there, you use it every single day. So this mission statement not only helps you in the long term, but it helps you on a day-by-day basis, because you will remember it one, twice, 3 times, 4 times, even 10 times a day. Repeat them. And when you're going to make a decision, a final decision, remember your mission statement. If this follows through, if this goes and it positively impacts your mission, go ahead and do it. If not, don't do it. You are the writer of the program of your life. You are the writer of the software and the hardware and everything in your life. So you dream big, put it there, use it constantly, and always remember, use this for every decision. Habit number 3, put first things first. When you put first things first, you get your priorities clear. And how do you find that? People tend to ask me, how do you find your what do you do first? And then, well, you organize your life in several things. You say, okay, I want to accomplish this. Now you have your vision. Now you're being proactive. You have your vision. Okay, if you want to accomplish that, what are the most important things you need to do? So you put them in a quadrant, not urgent, but very important. If, for example, if you need to attain something really spectacular and your health is very important, you got to put that in important but not urgent. So health is going to be an issue for almost any one of us. You need to do exercise every single day. You need to take care of your health, your food intake, and everything. And if we're going to go through this pandemic, you need to help boost your autoimmune system. So you got to eat properly and drink properly and take care of that. So that's going to be there, not urgent, but it's important. And you focus on that quadrant number 2. You split quadrants like this. You put not urgent matters up there, urgent matters here, and important, not important. So family, health, skills. Programming your day. You program your day with a calendar or with a notebook, whatever you use, but find what is very important in your life, put it there, what is urgent and what is not urgent. And you focus on important and not urgent for most of the day, for 70% of the day. And then urgent and important, you manage those. You'll spend a long time there, like 40% there. And then the rest, not important and urgent, you try to accomplish those, because they'll take some of your time too. And not important, not urgent, try to limit those and try to eliminate them. No, they're not important and not urgent, so try to eliminate them. You'll have them in the beginning, because this takes time. It's not a 1 week program. It's going to be a life program. So these self-mastery with these first 3 habits will give you independence. You are a dependent person. When you apply these 3, you become independent. And now these next 3 habits will make you from being independent to interdependent. That's and why is that? These first 3 habits are centered on yourself, on your circle of influence, on the things you can control, okay? Which is your attitude, your mindset, your goals, your proactiveness, and your things first. Then habit 4, 5, and 6. Habit number 4 is win-win relationships. Now we're having relationships with other people. So win-win relationships are the best ones, the best solutions. When there's a win-lose, the relationship will end sooner rather than later. If there's a lose-lose, there's no deal. And if you are thinking with lack of abundance, it's a lack of abundance mindset. You won't perform. But when you feel that there's a lot of abundance, that by winning and winning, but both parties winning, you will both be complete, then there's plenty for all. Then you seek for win-win relationships. It happened to me a year and a half ago. I bought my partner the company. I bought open insurances from him, and one of the things that I did was, okay, what is the price that we're going to put? Let's put a price that if um, if he pays that, I'll be able to deliver and give the company back to him. So we put a price that no matter which side goes, I'll be happy. That's a win-win relationship. That's a win-win mindset. And that's the way you should think about mostly every single product that you provide. So you add value to people and you charge for that. And when you add a lot of value, you can charge more and more and more. So that's win-win relationships. And people will pay that because they're winning so much that they will be able to share their profits with you. So that's habit number 4, win-win relationships. Habit number 5, seek first to understand and then be understood. Sometimes, or most of the time, what happens is that you want to answer the question really quickly. Someone is talking to you and explaining something, and you don't listen up until the end. So let them finish the sentence. Let them finish their paragraph. Let them finish their statement, and then seek first to understand and then understood. So do it with empathetic listening. Try to listen to them, acknowledge what they're saying, and try to listen with the intent of understanding. And if you do empathetic listening and you listen first, it's common sense. Then you move forward. That's habit number 5. Seek first to understand and then be understood. Habit number 6 is synergy. Many different people, many different team players, many different persons can bring about different ideas and ways to solve problems that you might never imagine. So use your team as a builder of ideas. Don't do an autocratic company. Don't be thinking that you are the only one who has control, and you are the only one who has the truth in yourself. So you ask your team in order to prevail, in order to do different stuff and different ways of solving different type of programs and problems. And with synergy, when you use the best of your team, then it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = 3, 30, 40, 100. And these 3 habits, putting first things first, win-win relationships, and synergy, with these 3 habits, then you become interdependent. You're not only independent, but you're interdependent, and you're thinking about we. You're thinking as a team. You're thinking as a group of people that help each other succeed and attain your goals. And that's the way you got to see your environment. So in the first 3 habits, you forget about the environment and you focus on yourself, and you focus on things you can control. And then in the second 3 habits, then you have relationships with the outside world, because humans are created to be social animals, and what we want to do is go forward and impact that environment. And by impacting them through this way, you will have synergy, you have win-win relationships, and you will put your first things first, and you will succeed. So this brings you interdependence, in which now it's not only me, it's all about we. The habit number 7, which is the last one of all, and the one that wraps it all up, it's sharpening the saw. It's the way you practice. It's the way you you go forward. It's the way you do it every day. It's the way you think about it every day. It's the way you practice and practice and practice, because perfect practice makes perfect. spiritually, exercising, cognitive health, learn, exploring, social health. All of them, you gotta live the 6 habits, and use the 7th one to practice them all together, and teach it to others if you can. If you feel you love this methodology from Stephen Covey, the 7 habits of Stephen Covey can be applied to kids, can be applied to adults, can be applied to elderly, can be applied to businesses, to small ones, to big ones, to high-tech companies, to every single one. It requires patience, but it works. So go for it. Apply those habits, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and go forward. So habit number 1, remember, be proactive. Habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. Put your vision, mission, and values. Number 3, put first things first. What are your priorities in life? Number 4, win-win relationships. Number 5, seek first to understand and then be understood. Number 6, synergy. Work together as a team. And as you work as a team, you start developing your we instead of the I, me. And then on the 7th, you sharpen the saw. That way you'll succeed. This is, a brief summary of what it is. The 7 habits of highly effective people. Thank you.